I'm pursuing my lifelong dream of going rally racing. This lifelong dream came from when I was in high school. My best friend, his brother actually found out about drifting and rally racing. And in Colorado, we had the Colorado Cog Rally and we had Pikes Peak Hill Climb. And we actually get to the first rally stage that we ever see, and we see Jeff Zwart come off of a cliff and drive down the hillside, and then two more cars subsequently roll on that same corner. So it's just something that was a lifelong impression that we had. I wanted to go rally racing and I just didn't know how to get there. There wasn't a path, there wasn't any clear way to go actually do this. And then a few years later, some guys called Ken Block and Travis Pastrana show up on the scene, and the sport of rally started to get some really good traction in the United States. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was a lot of fun to actually be around, but still we had no blueprint to actually get a chance to actually go rally racing. So fast forward to me being in college, I almost fail my first semester of school because I don't really have much guidance or really idea what I want to do. But I'm driving a blue Subaru with gold rims, and I just know I want to turn that car into a rally car someday. So I figure business guys are the ones that make enough money to go racing. So I just make a guess and I assume business is where I should go. I shift my non-declared major from nothing to a business major, but again, with the goal of hopefully building and going rally racing someday. I started a house painting franchise business while I was in school to learn the ins and outs of running a business. I had to learn how to paint houses, but I learned how to manage people. I learned how to deal with customers. I even had to really work on my biggest weakness, which was talking to people. I was a very shy, not very outgoing person when I was young, and that was one of the big things I really had to work on. And again, all of this was just so I could build and buy a rally car someday. I get through college, I find the woman of my dreams, I marry her, we start a family, but the whole goal again was to still try to find a way to actually go rally racing someday. So we get together and we decide that we want to move from Colorado to Boston. And we ended up taking a job. I took a job in Boston, moved myself and my wife to the East Coast. And the reason I wanted to move to Boston was because I wanted to go start my rally career at this little place called Team O'Neill. I had known at that time that was the place to go if you wanted to start training, wanted to start learning. And I figured if I was living in Boston working a career job, that I'd eventually be able to go spend some money up there at Team O'Neill. So I was living in Boston actually in 2013 when the bombings happened for the marathon bombings. And actually it was that week that I decided to send an email to info@Team O'Neill, because I was in business coaching and I was hoping that maybe I could trade some business coaching advice to whoever at Team O'Neill would be willing to listen in trade for a rally school. I just took a big chance and I said maybe they'd be willing to barter. The next day I get a phone call from Tim O'Neill himself, the founder of the rally school, saying that he's looking for someone to help manage and lead the business into the future. So luck, timing, situation, circumstance put us in the right place at the right time for me to take on my dream job of running a rally school. I tell you all this because I wanted to actually talk about sacrifice. I've been working my whole life for this dream. I gave up a lot of other things. I gave up a nice paying job in Boston to take a lot less money to work at Team O'Neill. I gave up living in Colorado where I thought I was going to raise my family with my wife because there might be a chance I could pursue this rally thing on the East Coast. And I definitely don't have any regrets for that. But what are some of the things that I've had to sacrifice? Now I'm at the point 10 years later after that where I've got 3 young kids. My wife and I are dealing with her mother-in-law who's sick right now. And there's other things going on with running the business. Now I own Team O'Neill with Tim. Tim and I are business partners. So I've got to manage the business, I've got to manage my family, and I still have this crazy teenage dream of putting a rally championship title on my resume. All of this for $5 trophies. Obviously, it's only for my own self-gratification that I'm pursuing this. But for me, at the end of the day, what are the things that we have to sacrifice? So I was just in Oregon this last week. We ended up winning the race so that's 4 wins with 4 power stage wins. We have maximum number of championship points at this point. But what did I have to give up for that? My daughter had her gymnastics recital and was able to put on a gymnastics show, and I wasn't there to see it. My son, he had his home run derby for the baseball team that I'm the head coach of, and I wasn't able to be there for that. Those are decisions that my wife and I talked about before this season, that we knew there were gonna be some challenges and things that I wasn't gonna see, but it still doesn't make it any easier for myself or my kids when I leave Wednesday night or Thursday night the week of the rally, and they know that I'm not gonna be there to see those things. So my kids are bearing a little bit of the weight of my teenage dream.
It's very sad, but then when we get home, it's so exciting and we're all happy and having fun.
What's the first question you usually ask me when I come home?
Did you win?
What do I get to say usually? What have I said the last 4 rallies?
I won.
So this last rally in Oregon, I wasn't able to be there for your gym show, right?
Yeah.
And we knew that for a while.
Mhm.
Right? But how'd that make you feel?
Sad because I really wanted you to see it, and it went so well.
I got to see the video. Did you know that?
Yes, but that's still not the same.
I agree, it's not the same. Do you understand why Daddy wasn't there?
Because you want to win a championship?
Is that okay?
Yes.
It is okay?
Yeah.
Was Riker sad that I wasn't there for his T-ball?
Oh, yes, but he was too excited to really.
He did really well, right?
Yeah. I always miss him when he leaves. It's like every day, we get worse for Mom. On the first day, we're okay, but then if he's longer, then we get worse, which I think is really hard for Mom.
The longer I'm gone, the harder it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riker and Lincoln aren't as scared as Mom as they are scared of you. They're more scared of you than
we manage by fear in this household.
You help your mom out extra while Dad's gone?
Yeah.
What kind of things do you do to help him?
I make lunches. I stop my brothers fighting. I help my little brother if he's hurt. I help my other brother if he's hurt sometimes.
You're prepared for me to go race more?
Yes,
Oh,
but I don't want
good.
you to.
Oh, I love you, big girl. Thanks for doing an interview with me.
You're welcome.
So part of my story, I talked about being in Boston when the bombings happened. What I didn't tell you was in February 2013, 2 months before that happened, I told my wife that I was gonna give up on the rally dream. I told her that because I was working so hard, trying to make so much money to pay for this dream, I couldn't figure it out anymore. I was pretty broken, and I figured if I gave up on the rally dream, it would give our family more time to focus on building a family. We wanted to have kids, and I didn't want to be the type of dad that worked 100 hours a week while not also living my dream. When I told my wife that I was giving up on the rally dream, at that point, she'd been hearing my stories for 7, 8 years. She said, expletive, you're not giving up on this dream. And it was 2 months later that Tim O'Neill and I connected. So I cannot thank my wife enough for how much she has given to my dream, our dream as a family. I did this as fast as I possibly could. I figured out how to run businesses. I figured out how to make enough money. I'm 38 years old, and I don't want to get any older putting my body into the position that I'm going to be in at the higher risk, higher speeds that rally requires for you to be a champion. A lot of us build up a bank account, we build up our health, we build up a lot of these things to make us feel safe. And I gave up a lot of that to pursue this dream. I gave up a deep 401k, I gave up big investments, I gave up anything else I could have spent this money on to put it into this dream that a 16-year-old boy had. Not a great investment if you say from what someone who would be looking at that from the outside. But I don't want to die with a big bank account, and I'm okay with the fact that I'm trying to use the money I have now to fulfill that dream that I have. The other thing that really surprised me about this season is sponsors. I think anyone who's in motorsports and racing, we all have the big dream of having the big sponsors, and I've been extremely blessed this season to actually get some really cool sponsorships Michelin, Ohlins, Hawk, Team O'Neill. Thank you guys so much for putting so much into my season. The one thing that I didn't really consider is the amount of time and effort you have to put into fulfilling the sponsor requirements. I'm happy to do that. I think it's part of the job. But again, that's another potential time away from your family, more time invested into racing that I could be doing other things, working on the business. Honestly, if dollars per hour, if I was putting that time into running the company, I'd probably be able to make more money and pay for the things that I got the sponsorship on. But you know, that's just part of the deal. And this is something I wanted to learn as a motorsport driver, as a race car driver, is how to manage sponsors. So hopefully someday if I get to teach someone else in this role or have this dream, I can tell them what it was like for me to be able to do these things. But ultimately, I don't want to sound like this video is complaining. I don't regret any of the decisions I've made, but I think it's really important if you think about pursuing a big dream and having big goals in your life, that you're gonna know you're gonna have to give up other things, sacrifice other parts of your life so that you can pursue this one dream. So if someone came up to me today and asked me what it would take to live my life that I have right now, the first thing I would say is you gotta figure out your home life first. You either have to not have anything there so that you can fully give up all of the rest of your time and effort to this dream, or build support and infrastructure around you that won't let you quit. Because there will be too many tough times for you to have other things pulling you away from this dream. You could try to emulate me and walk in my footsteps, and I hope that I can give you enough tools that allow you to do that. I was never born with a silver spoon in my mouth, so I had to figure this all out for myself.